There is a creative split over the WWE Money in the Bank finish, plus shocking Bryan Danielson injury update for you, and we've got some big news on Randy Orton's WWE return. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Money in the Bank on Saturday, Jack.
Oh,
it's in London.
It's in London town.
As will be Ross and Fraser and our Cultaholic team.
Yes, we've got a team down there in London doing all the content and doing all the things and watching all the wrestling.
All of that good stuff. Look out for a Wild Ross and a Fraser Porter.
But we'll be here as well.
Oh, we'll be here, obviously.
We'll be here covering it from here, what happened now, and all the content and the predictions and the reactions and all the things. But there's a bit of a creative split over a finish of Money in the Bank, Tom.
Certainly is. So WrestleVote saying, hearing WWE has two very drastic finishes in play for the Bloodline match on Saturday. Creative seems split on the decision. In conjunction, I'm told the Usos and Solo were a part of a run-through session this past Friday at a closed location to go over things. And then WrestleVote have put And
I'm also thinking,
We're all thinking, It's not out of the realms of possibility for matches to be run through in this way. I think on the regular, they'll have time to go through beat for matches. Some of the bigger matches where there's more creative finishes. I know they do it at a closed location. The one that springs to mind was CM Punk Rock at the Rumble. I believe they did it. They got to the arena early and put curtains around the ring so they could practice the finish so no one could see what was going to happen.
Also, the recent AEW World Title 4-way match, they all apparently met up the night before, or the night before the night before. They met up a night close to the event to rehearse it. That was Jungle Boy, MJF, Darby and Sammy.
They all got together and just went through the bits. So just in a way where nobody can really give away what's going to happen.
But I'm confused. I'm not confused. I'm intrigued, I guess, by the two potential finishes. I'm guessing that these, whatever happens, the finish is going to be the next, I guess, key storyline twist and turn in the Bloodline saga.
Yeah, I mean, there's many potential routes this could go. I mean, could this? I think one of the things that people may be split about is this the night where Roman Reigns gets pinned?
Oh.
Does Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso pin Roman Reigns to win the match?
I mean,
this will be it's Roman's first pinfall loss since 2019? It's pretty sure.
Obviously, anytime Roman gets pinned from here on out, it's going to be a big deal. But this is potentially the first time where you, apart from like the big matches against Drew, Cody, and Sammy, maybe, where you could say, actually, I wouldn't be too surprised if it happened here. But there's various different directions they could take this in, isn't there? I think it's quite open-ended as it stands.
Very intriguing stuff. Now, WWE Creative had their hands full lately, what with numerous changes, lastminute.com coming from the desk or the phone of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I genuinely believe he has a Nokia 3310. Now, WWE are apparently putting things in place to try and halt some of Vince's creative inputs.
Yes, although, first of all, I think he's got one of those ones where you hold it.
That's even better.
Yeah, like, or two cans on a string.
Little rotary thing. H. There's be a whole generation of kids who I'm doing this for, and they're not going to get it.
You know the save icon in Word, like the floppy disk. Those people don't know what that is.
When you show them that, they go, "Why have you got a model of a save file?"
Yeah. Why have you got a? So Fightful Select are saying that, as you've mentioned there, they're trying to kind of Vince-proof their creative plans. They being Triple H and the creative team. Fightful say that those they've spoken to say that Vince generally likes to make good on the advertised matches if possible. So they've kind of gone right. If we just schedule all our matches, if we advertise them ahead of time, then he won't change them. But then that all changed last Friday when SmackDown had several advertised matches that were indeed scrapped by, we think, Vince's changes. And that's where those reports then came out saying, well, Triple H is ready for streets at the end of his tether, guys.
But that's the Vince proofing. That's what it has been until recently.
Yeah, until recently.
Booking matches ahead of time.
Which makes sense, but then one source told Fightful that advertising matches on SmackDown 1, 2, and maybe even 3 weeks ahead on the same show could have been an effort to Vince-proof some plans on SmackDown. But the main thing we heard, we being Fightful, is that he made changes to the June 5th Raw in terms of match orders, match times, and some quick additional segments, leading to a ton of frustration. So while it may maybe has semi-Vince proofed it, there are still always changes he can make that can really scupper the best laid plans.
Often go Agley. The best laid plans of Bryan Danielson was to have a match with Kazuchika Okada that was both excellent and didn't involve any breakages. He got 50% there. It was excellent. And then Bryan Danielson, as he reported in the media scrum afterwards, seemed to have a break in his forearm. And I love Bryan Danielson because that was 10 minutes before the end of the match. He had an injury. He walked out to the media scrum and went, "Who wants to fight?"
Yeah.
What a guy. He's different, isn't he?
He is. And he, as you said, he revealed this injury at the media scrum and said it took place about 10 minutes before the end of the match. People seem to think it was on Okada's elbow drop maybe, and he landed on Bryan. Obviously an accident, like nothing particularly unsafe about it. It's just that wrestling is dangerous. And sometimes these things happen. But also, he might have even undersold or not quite guessed how severe this break is.
No, so Brie Bella on Instagram showing us an X-ray. I believe this is how Brie Bella sees things when she's in Brie mode. We see the breakage there with the caption, "Not sure to be proud or chastise him for wrestling 10 more minutes with this break. Definitely worse than we thought." Look at the state of that. You could park a bus in that. Look at that. It's just, and bless him for cracking on through. So I don't know what this means.
I just pretended to look at it. They know that I can't see that in real time. Sorry, everyone. That was really patronising.
Ignore it. We can see that. We can see that. Yeah. We can even see that lovely dog that's on the screen now. There we are. Look at that lovely dog.
Love when you
look
do
at
that.
that lovely dog. A lovely dog. Put the bone back up. There it is. Not for the dog though. So we send our best wishes to Bryan Danielson. We don't know when he'll be back from this. This isn't going to be something that you could just put a bit of that liquid on from Resident Evil and hope for the best.
I think he said, what did he say, about 8 weeks or something? But it looks like it could take longer than that now.
A little bit longer. Best wishes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Staying on the subject of breaks. Do you know why Grayson Waller hasn't wrestled on SmackDown yet?
Oh, okay.
He put out a video on Twitter last night saying, "My last match on NXT against Carmelo Hayes, I broke my leg. Clean break. But because I'm straight up gangster from southwestern Sydney, I kept going. It's moments away from becoming NXT champion." Obviously, he didn't win, but obviously that major break in his leg has meant that we've not seen him wrestle yet. And
has he been... I'm trying to think now of him
He's been on the Grayson Waller effect,
but I'm trying to think of how he's been moving around and how he's entered the ring. And I'm like... I'm very confused, but fair enough. Hopefully he recovers well and you know.
Well, he said in the end of this video that he's going to reveal a return date very, very soon.
Oh, well, that's really reassuring because we've been saying on the podcast that they've kind of misused Grayson Waller since he's been called up to the main roster, because in NXT, he started off as this kind of annoying guy and then graduated to like do more and more heinous heelish acts and eventually was almost like the top heel in NXT. And then he came to SmackDown and suddenly he's just a talk show host, and if it's a heel, he's like, "You're so great," and it's like, come on, Grayson, what's happened? But this would explain it. This would explain why he's not been given much of a chance to really do anything yet.
Exactly. Speedy recovery to Grayson Waller. A speedy recovery may have already happened for one Randall Keith Orton. Word Wrestling gave us some exciting news about the weekend.
Yes, indeed. They've said Randy Orton is expected to be nearing a return, possibly even as soon as this weekend's Money in the Bank. Orton has been out of action since May of 2022 with a serious back injury, which felt like it almost came out of nowhere as well. Like he was just gone. He was on screen and then he was gone, and he's been gone for a year now. Would he come back at Money in the Bank? The beauty of Randy Orton, I suppose, is that you can just have him show up at any point and RKO someone, and it's just Randy Orton. But what do you think?
I wonder whether that ties into, whether that bookends with our first story of this behind the curtains preparation for the finish.
Oh, okay.
Does Randy Orton get in the mix there, maybe?
He could get in the mix with Riddle, possibly as well.
Possibly.
I think Ross had an idea involving Randy Orton as well on the Pictures video, if you want to check out our 9 pictures for Money in the Bank. Also, exciting things coming to YouTube involving Adam Pacitti as well.
Indeed. Tonight, AEW Fight Forever Road to the Elite mode with Adam Pacitti. Fight Forever is here, and we're going to give it a go later on. YouTube.com/Cultaholic/live at 9 o'clock tonight after Jack and Owen have been twitching.
We'll be on Twitch, yes. So Adams is on YouTube YouTube, but myself and Owen will be on twitch.tv/Cultaholic, taking control of the Fabes. Last week it didn't go as well as the week before. So week before last, we were really happy with how it had gone. Owen was the happiest I've ever seen him, even when Liverpool have won. I've seen him celebrate virtual goals more than real ones in real life. But now it's just not gone as well. The game turned off halfway through as well, which was... Back on it this week. We'll get back to, it'll be fine.
It is a full lineup of wrestling favored content for today. You've got a full review of AEW Fight Forever coming a little bit later on today. You have Cultaholic FC flavored action, hopefully without any power issues.
My goodness me.
On Twitch from 6 p.m. BST. Then from 9 p.m. BST, Adam Pacitti takes on AEW Fight Forever and the road to the elite. It's all going on today. And of course, for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.